Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in my previous video we did unbox an ETB and I was not able to show you all the cards which I pulled there. So I thought of doing a separate video for that, and this video is gonna be all about displaying my Pokemon card collection. And as you can see, this is the binder which I use to collect my Pokemon cards uh, so far. It is a 3-ring binder and I just started Pokemon collecting, so that is the reason why I'm not using any kind of a sophisticated binder for that. And currently all my collections, at least most of my collections, are displayed in this binder. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So this is a 3-ring binder. Basically it's called a 3-ring binder because it has these 3 rings. And in the Pokemon community, there is a saying that you're not supposed to use a 3-ring binder to collect Pokemon cards, basically because there is a high chance that these cards which are nearest to the rings can get damaged, especially when you have a bulk amount of cards like this. But so far I haven't faced any issues, and for the new collectors who are just starting, especially in India, they will not have access to more sophisticated binders, so they might not know about these things. That is the reason why most of us start with this kind of binders. But so far I haven't faced any issues. I will switch to a more sophisticated or a better binder with more pockets after this, but right now all my collections are mostly displayed in this. So let's take a look at some of these beautiful cards. So for those who are wondering that why Pokemon card collection is a big thing, most of us might have watched the Pokemon anime when we were kids. So it had an everlasting impact on most of us, especially for me. When I finished my school and went to my home at the evening, when we used to put on Cartoon Network and watch these Pokemon, Beyblade, those kind of cartoons, or as you can say now, animes. During those childhood days, it taught us a lot of things, like never giving up, to have self-confidence, and all those things were taught to us by the animes. Some of you all might not understand that, but that is definitely something which has given us everlasting memories. And when we turn into adults and when we see all these new things that are available in the market, all these memories of childhoodness definitely comes back in, and that is when we have this urge to have all these things. But that said, Pokemon card collecting is something which has grown far better than that. There are people that do collect these cards, resell them for more profits. It has turned out to be more like an investment nowadays. And if you see, I'm not sure if it is that much relevant in India, but when you see US, UK, those kind of countries, Pokemon card collection is something which is very much vastly grown there. There are a lot of people collecting, there are a lot of communities available, and a lot of exchanges, trades, everything has been going on. So it's not just a small thing, it's becoming a big kind of a deal. So I wanted to start my collection with these 3 iconic legends, the Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. And if you remember, this card is from the ETB which I unboxed in my last video. And all these 4 cards are promo cards. So basically there are different classification as to which card are common, uncommon, rare, super rare, like that. Art rares, illustration rares, like that it goes from there. But I'm not going to go in detail with that video, then it will be a much more longer video. And as you can see, these cards are in Japanese. So basically there are 3 versions which I like to collect. One is English, which is this version. That means that all the titles and everything will be in English. The other is Japanese. As you can see, this is a Japanese card. And the other one is Korean, but I do prefer Japanese and English more to Korean. And Japanese versions are a little bit more better compared to the English versions. Basically it has a bit more color, texture, everything to those cards. It looks a little bit more brighter compared to the other English versions of the card. And I think English versions are a little bit hard to get basically, but Japanese versions are a bit more available. So I've seen that a lot when I look for these cards. And as you can see, the texture and everything, the art is completely amazing for some of these cards. That is the reason why most of us start into the collecting purpose. And I'm not going to explain about any classifications as to how to determine whether the cards are like common, uncommon, rare, like that today. If I do that, then definitely this will be much longer video, because there is a lot of cards that are there to show. And I haven't actually determined which how I want to collect it. Right now I'm just collecting all the cards which I love. As you can see, most of these cards are from the ETB which I unboxed in the last video. And some of these cards are common cards, some of these are reverse holo cards, so that's also another kind of classification. There are like trainer cards, there are normal Pokemon cards, there are holo cards, reverse holo cards, a lot of this. So in case if you're looking to collect the Pokemon cards, definitely this is going to be much confusing thing. But there are a lot of videos available that shows us or tells us like how to differentiate between all these kind of rarities, common cards, uncommon cards, etc. And also if you see in the Japanese and English versions, there is some kind of difference here or there. The way in which they like differentiate or classify the rarity symbols, everything, there is some kind of difference there. So for the people who are starting their Pokemon collecting journey, there is just something which I wanted to tell you. As you can see, these are repetitive cards, right? So if you have seen my previous video, in that when I unboxed that ETB, they were like booster packs, right? So basically that is how you start collecting. We tear open the booster packs to see if we get lucky. In some booster packs there will be art rares like these. Some of this will be amazing, some of these will be very much expensive. Like if we resell it later on, definitely we'll get a high price for that. And sometimes it will be just all these common cards, and even in that chance there will be cards that are repetitive. And some cards will not be good, and some cards, if you have already started collecting before it, there is a high chance that you will be getting the same cards, something like that. So it's always a gamble, and that is what makes this kind of collecting journey exciting. So as you can see, all these cards like the Pokemon Anniversary Collection and all these cards are like pretty amazing now. So just imagine if you like tear open a booster pack and you see some amazing artwork kind of cards which has huge value, then it'll make your day definitely. And there can be negative aspect to that also, because if you buy 10-15 booster packs, and definitely it is very much expensive. Even in India, booster packs has definitely a high value, basically because it's not available that much. Because my previous video, as I said, most of the packs that you see around in Indian markets are fakes. And it is actually very saddening, because I also did not think about that before, and only once I came to know the reality of these things, I understood that most of them which that are sold in the Indian markets has very much fake cards. So these cards, they actually sell it for around like 10-20 rupees, etc. But in order to buy an original booster pack, you will have to pay something around like maybe around 1000 or 600, 700, 800, like that it goes. So that means that you are spending 700, 800 rupees to buy a booster pack of 10 cards. It can vary depending upon the type of booster pack it is. I've seen Japanese booster packs which is having 10 cards as well as 5 cards as well. And if it is 5, that means it's a lesser amount of money, but still, if you're buying a booster pack and if you see that you don't get any kind of rares, or if all the cards are very much common, or if it is same card which you've already got, definitely that is not gonna sit well with you, right? So that is one of the saddest things that can happen when you get into this kind of collecting part. But when you pull something which is very good, it will definitely have a soothing or a wonderful experience. Another way which you can do is that rather than buying all these booster packs, you can select and buy the cards which you love. Or if you come across some cards which definitely are there for sale, based on that, based on the price, if you have that amount, you can go there and buy it. That is something which I right now prefer, because rather than going and collecting booster packs or ETBs are actually good. You'll at least get something, promo cards or something like that, and some of the accessories. But apart from that, booster packs alone is not something which I prefer. Rather than that, you can invest that money and buy single cards which you think are lovely, especially these kind of things. The Lapras one, that is something which I like. We have the Gyarados, and if you can invest in that, and definitely that will be a better investment. That is what my opinion is, but everybody has their own way of collecting things. So we do not have to judge on that, but I do prefer that over the other, because recently all my experiences taught me that when you pull a booster pack, there is no chance that you might receive a great card. Sometimes you might not. So in that circumstance, it is like wasting the money. So in order to avoid that, it's better to do that. So I do have common, uncommon cards also in my collection. Basically, as long as they are like good cards, it works for me. So basically now I'll have to most of the my binder is almost full now, so I'll have to switch over to a more better binder. In that time, I'll be like thinking about collecting based on some kind of classification. Oh, I think I might have missed to put a card here. So yeah, that is there. So one more tip which I wanted to give you is regarding how to collect. I think this is the third card which we got. So as I said, there are different classifications or ways to distinguish between the different kind of rarities. So when you're starting collecting, you can definitely collect based on some kind of criteria. For example, if you are looking for Lapras cards, you can collect all the Lapras editions that were made. So that will make your collection somewhat unique. So similarly, you can collect based on the particular this thing. For example, cards from the Scarlet and Crown version, there will be a set in that ETB which I showed you in my previous video. There was a booklet, right, which displayed all the cards which were available in that particular series. So basically you can collect based on that series, and then again it makes it a unique collection. For now, my collections are all diverse. It's not specific to anything. All the cards which I like, I'm collecting, especially the ones which are art rares and something which I see or come across. If they're single cards, I'm collecting. But I don't have a particular classification as to what or which I should collect. Like that, I'm not collecting. But if you want to save your money, if you want to think about in that perspective, you can just choose a specific area, and based on that specific area, you can start collecting, and definitely that will save you a lot of money. But that said, when you're starting this collection, you'll feel like it is a vast thing there. So you'll feel like getting everything you want at the starting moment itself. But definitely, I'm going to tell you that it is going to cost you a lot of money. And it will turn out to be a bit more like a gambling thing when you buy a lot of these booster packs, and you look for the cards. Sometimes you might get some good pulls, but sometimes you might not. So definitely that might turn into a gambling part as well. So whatever you're doing, make sure that you do it based on a proper sense. And as long as if you have money to do that or money to spend around, then definitely you can go ahead. Otherwise, make sure that it is done in a bit more conservative or a time friendly manner, because in the markets we'll see a lot of things at random times. That is what, like when I started the collection, that's what I observed. Because every time when I think that okay fine, I buy this card and I'll stop it for the time being, after 1 or 2 days I'll see a new card popping up in, in the market. So what will feel that yeah, definitely I need to get that also. So when you do that, something like that, it will like accumulate a lot of money then, and you will lose a lot of money there. You'll get a good card maybe, but you'll have to keep some kind of limit as to you're gonna buy this much in this particular month, like that. Otherwise it's definitely gonna be over accumulating to you, and it is gonna be a little bit tedious to you. That said, this is actually a pretty good hobby to collect and start. it's actually very much good hobby to start. So I have completed so far. I still have some more pages that are yet to be filled, which I'll be filling in the coming days. And also I'll show you some of the other cards which I have like kept it here. So these things are called top loaders. It's a way to like protect your cards. Some of the cards which I love, I've like kept it here in order to prevent any kind of a ring or biter damage in case if that happens. So these are cards which I love the most. One is the Pikachu EX version. So all these things are in Japanese. I don't have an English version of these cards yet, but definitely, yeah, this actually looks a lot good. So one is this, a Pikachu EX card. The another one is the Blastoise. This card, I don't have a Water Turtle yet. I have to get one. I do have Squirtle, but I don't have Water Turtle yet. So there are some amazing art rare cards for Water Turtle, but yeah, I still don't have that yet. So Blastoise is amazing. The other one which I love the most is this Lapras card. So as I said, during my childhood days, Lapras was one of the Pokemon that I loved the most. And in case if I wanted a Pokemon, I definitely wanted this one. So that also brings back a lot of memories, and hence I put this thing in the top loader for its safety. So this is the backside of these cards. Okay, so just FYI, all these cards might have like different this thing. So this is the backside of that, and top loaders will definitely protect your cards. So basically, depending upon your choice, you can either store them in a binder, or maybe you can store them in top loaders. Or most of these cards I have already kept it in a penny sleeve or a sleeve. Some of these normal like common cards or something, I have not kept it under any, but others I have already kept it in a penny sleeve for its own protection, to make sure that the cards are not scratched, or make sure that the paint is not coming off, something like that. So you can do that based on your this thing, and I'll definitely come up with another video sharing the classifications of how to determine whether the card is rare, common, uncommon, like that, in one of my coming videos. So until then, it's goodbye. So take care everybody, have a good day. Thank you all for watching.